I'm Hana Weltin. I'm an intern at Beyond the Diagnosis. I spoke about how powerful Beyond the Diagnosis is as like an educational tool, as an advocacy tool. I think that Beyond the Diagnosis using art is just such an innovative way of connecting with people. I mean, the way that this art exhibit like works, I feel like instead of portraying the pain and the suffering and the challenges that these kids, so many issues because of their illnesses that they have to face, rather than portraying that and portraying like the joy and the ecstatic beauty that they like bring to the world is just so much, it's a much more powerful way of portraying them. It's a much more easy way to connect with someone. Connecting with someone's pain, it requires so much empathy and so much, you have to like go through it to understand it. And so showing like the beauty of each kid and their life rather than the pain, it's much easier to connect with them, and it makes it much easier to advocate for them, to make people understand and care in a way that is very difficult for rare diseases. It is completely like necessary for like rare diseases, especially. They're rare. When people hear rare disease, they don't like, oh yeah, rare, it doesn't affect that many people, but like 1 in 10 Americans have a rare disease. So it's extremely, like to have a rare disease is extremely common, even if the disease itself isn't. And so it's a much bigger problem than people like give it credit for. Because most people like dismiss it as like not that big of an issue, advocacy is so important because we have to raise awareness. Most of them are children because most don't get treatments. A lot will die before like the age of like 5. Many children die from rare disease, and so advocacy is one of the most important parts of like the rare disease community. I was diagnosed when I was 16 with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and since then I have always tried to keep people informed and to speak about it whenever possible, just to raise awareness, to like bring attention onto such a big problem. I actually had brain surgery a few years ago. The symptoms were really bad. I was bedridden for about 6 months when I was 17. I had surgery 2 days before my 18th birthday. My senior year, I missed 2 years. I ended up graduating when I was high school when I was 21. Has had a huge impact on my life. Physically, I have had a lot of trouble doing a lot of things that my peers and classmates do, and it created like this like awareness of like how unfair the world is, and how not tailored to people with disabilities it is. And so trying to like advocate for yourself, it gives you a really good idea of how to advocate for others. Well, with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, I have joint dislocations and subluxations. There's joint pain. I have also Postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, or POTS, and that involves racing hard, presyncope, and fainting, dizziness, and also like long-term stuff like fatigue is a huge problem, nausea, vomiting. There's a lot of issues that involved, and because it's very multi-systemic, so there's like a whole like system of problems. It is a difficult thing to juggle. I mean, most of my classmates already had like lab experience and stuff like that. I didn't, because I was also taking my classes. I didn't have the opportunity to do lab experience, so I feel like I'm behind in a way, and I have to do more accommodations. I need much more stuff, and it really creates like this like disconnect like from like my peers, because they don't really understand like what I have to do to like get where I am. And it's a difficult thing to juggle, but I am feeling really good about like where I am. Physically, I'm doing very well, which is great. And I'm looking forward for the future. I had a lab for a class, and a lot of it was like involved standing, and like it was a smaller room, and so we would have to take turns, and I had to explain to the teacher I can't stand in one place for this. I need to like have this accommodation, and like I'd have to go first for whatever we were doing, and like they asked me like, why are you going first every time? And because normally he like switched it up, and I had to like go through that whole process of like explaining, oh, I can't do this, and it's They're usually very understanding. Most kids are always like, "Oh, really? That's so interesting." They want to know more about it. They want to like understand.